One of the things I love to do is just prime canvas because you can kind of sort of let your mind go and it's pretty straightforward, but I'm going to show you some tips of what I do. First, I generally sand it down to get any nicks out of the original canvas. And what I first do is I get a mix of plaster, just regular plaster Paris, mix it together with a little bit of water. And this is the first layer. There'll be a final layer after with just gesso. So add a little bit of the plaster, mix it in with the water so you get all the powder and dry stuff mixed well and there's no chunks in it. Then I'll throw in a bit of Elmer's glue. It just makes it bind really well so it won't crack. And I mix that together. And then I'll add a little bit of gesso as well. So then I mix all these components together and it's sort of a thicker primer that I put in to really seal all the little divots and holes in the unprimed canvas. Just make sure you mix it in very thoroughly. The other thing I'll add to this for a bit of color, green or a blue, just acrylic paint. Sometimes you can put a dab of like a watercolor or whatever. I generally like to do it. You don't have to. You can keep it white. But sometimes I like to have a little bit of tone in my primed canvas. So then I apply it with just a regular bristled brush. I get one of those disposable ones. The only problem with them is sometimes you'll get a bristle that'll flake off and it's a pain in the butt when it's stuck in your canvas. So I apply it evenly and pretty thick. Then when it's dried, I take some sandpaper, sand it down. You want to get any rough or sharp edges from the plaster out. You want to make a nice smooth surface. So sand it pretty well and just wipe it down a bit. And after it's dried, I then apply mixing gesso by itself in a cup and I put it on pretty thin. You can use, I just did one coat here. You can do two coats if you want. Find what works better is to use one of those sponge brushes. You get a nice even layer of it and you don't have to worry about any of the bristles from the brush falling off onto the canvas, which can be a pain in the butt. So there you have it. And that's how I like to prime my canvases.